recording. What up, YouTube? Alex coming back at you with another Starcraft 2 cast. On the bottom right-hand side of the map, we have our red Protoss player Kelrog, and on the top left-hand side of our map, we have our blue Zerg player PatgaData. This is a Diamond versus Diamond level game, so I'm excited to see what these players have in store for us today. It does look like there is going to be a pylon thrown down in the natural of our Protoss player here. I do expect this is either going to be a Gateway Expand or Nexus First. We shall find out momentarily. Overlord slowly making its way down towards the Protoss base, and it does look like this is going to be a Gateway Expand from our Protoss player here. On the Zerg side of things, it does look like it's going to be a Hatchery First. So nothing too cheesy or crazy coming from either player so far, but this does not rule out any sort of cheese play by any means. We do have our probe scout here checking out the Zerg base just to make sure nothing cheesy is going on. I've said it before, but as a Protoss player, I do like to scout Zerg immediately because I don't know what it is, man, but Zerg love to cheese me. They just know I have trouble holding any sort of Zerg cheese. We do have this probe throwing out some sick dance moves. Has a whole crowd of displeased drones, to say the least. They are not looking too entertained. They are just working away while this probe is throwing down some breakdance moves here. This does give Kelrog a good scout on the timing here. He does know now that there's not going to be any sort of Zerglings coming into the base super soon. He does see that there are drones leaving the main base of the Zerg player here, and will see that there's a drone set up to throw down a third in the pocket base over here for the Zerg. We do have Warp Gate on the way along with one Dept. The Overlord here slowly making its way across the Protoss base. We do have a pylon here as well. I'm curious if Protoss is going to try and hide a building here, but there is that Overlord on its way. Zerg happily droning up for the time being. We do have speed being researched for the Zerg player. And it does look like there's going to be a Stargate, and clutch movement here on this Overlord will spot this. This will give PatgaData plenty of time to react to what is likely going to be some sort of air unit harassment from the Protoss player. It does look like these Adepts are trying to chase away only two Zerglings, leaving the Protoss wall unattended. Obviously, on our side of things, we do see that there's not going to be any Zerglings running to the Protoss base anytime soon, but if PatgaData had Zerglings hanging out by the third location of the Protoss and scouted this out, he would have been able to start throwing down some harassment on these workers, and that would be a very frustrating scenario for our Protoss player here. We do have a Shade coming into the Zerg base. I don't think this will finish. They did get some scouting information here. I don't think they saw this Baneling nest, though. This could be a very frustrating scenario for the Protoss player if PatgaData decides to do a Baneling bust on this wall. Third base does look like it may have been spotted by the Zerg player. We do have the shield battery in the mineral line here, followed by reinforcement of the two Adepts. These Zerglings now with speed will throw down some hurt on this third base here for the Protoss. With the shield battery and this position of the Adepts, I do expect they will be able to hold this. But as we were talking about, it does look like there's going to be a Baneling bust on the wall here. This is going to hurt the Protoss. This Adept running away, I'm not sure that was the right move. He would have been destroyed by by the banelings here, but may have been able to hold just a little bit longer. Oh no! The probes running in a straight line to the banelings. I feel like it could have been worse, but these Zerglings still alive, crawling all over the Protoss base right now, depowering these structures, depowering all the production of our Protoss player here. These oracles now defensive oracles. It does look like Protoss is going to be throwing down a hard wall here with that pylon. This will make defending this third base quite rough, and we don't have any structures that will be able to warp in any units. We do have one warp gate. I would like to see at least 2 or 3 more warp gates based on the amount of pressure Protoss is suffering here. Let's check out the workers killed. 36 workers killed by the Zerg player. Zero workers killed by the Protoss player. That is a crazy difference. This is going to put Kelrog in a heavy disadvantage economically. We do have the 4 adepts, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to do enough damage here. Looks like another Baneling bust on the way. This pylon does not stand a chance versus this many Banelings, on top of the fact that we only have 4 adepts. And they do break through. That was quite a lot of Banelings it took to destroy that pylon, admittedly, but these Banelings will not get the kill on the probes, but the rest of these probes will go down. This is a very tough position to be in, and Kelrog throwing out the GG, giving the win to PatgaData. Being a good sport about it, he was treated brutally in that game. Ultimately, Zerg just had absolute control of the game after that first Baneling bust, and the fact that Kelrog only really had 2 production buildings for army, was not able to keep up with the macro and the aggression of the Zerg player. And even though he did have 3 Nexuses on the field, Nexuses? Doesn't matter. He just couldn't handle and keep up with the aggression from our Zerg player, ultimately giving him the win. So, very interesting game. Short game, but very action-packed and fun to watch. Diamond level PvZ. Anyway, that's it for me tonight. If you guys would like to have your games cast, I would love to narrate them. You can send them to my email, which is in the description below. And for the future of this channel, it will be mostly casts, but eventually I might throw some of my own games in as well. But for now, I want to be consistent and just do casting from the general ladder, but eventually you guys may see some gameplay of my own. And with that, I will see you guys next time.